If you're in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, here's a question most people never really face head-on. Are you slowly drifting toward 80? Or intentionally building a life that can reach 90 or even 100 with a clear mind and a strong body? The difference is almost never good genes or luck. It's tiny, repeated choices, habits so ordinary you barely notice them. Yet they quietly decide whether your later years are full of freedom or full of limits. In this video, we'll uncover 8 hidden habits that quietly steal years of health and independence from older adults. For each one, you'll see how it works, a real lifestyle example, and simple changes you can start today. By the end, you'll have a practical roadmap to protect your energy, your memory, and your independence for as long as possible. And as you hear these, notice which one hits a nerve. That's your starting point. As you listen, ask yourself, if changing just one habit could give me 5 extra good years, which one would I start with? Keep that question in your mind as we go into habit 1. Habit number 1, talking to yourself like an enemy. Many people past 60 say things to themselves they would never say to someone they love. I'm too old to change. My brain is gone. Why bother? My best years are over. This quiet inner dialogue is dangerous because it shapes what you try, how you move, what you eat, everything. Take Helen, 73. After a minor health scare, she started telling herself, "This is it. I'm just an old woman now." She slowly stopped going to her walking group, stopped trying new recipes, stopped learning anything new. Her body got weaker, not because of her age alone, but because her beliefs told her to give up. Your brain listens to your words like instructions. When you repeat, "I can't," your brain stops looking for solutions. When you say, "I'm learning," it starts searching for ways to make that true. Here's a simple exercise. Catch one harsh thought a day. I'm useless. I'm too slow, etc. Pause and rewrite it. I'm slow. I'm moving carefully, but I'm still moving. I forget everything. I'm working on strengthening my memory. It may feel silly at first, but over time, your inner voice becomes more like a coach and less like a critic. And that changes what you actually do with your days. Tonight, notice the very first thought you have when you look in the mirror. If it's cruel, change it on purpose and get ready, because your body will be the next place this new kindness shows up. Habit number 2, eating like your body is still 25. Our taste buds love sugar and soft, easy foods. But after 60, the body doesn't forgive these choices like it used to. Many older adults start the day with sweet pastries, sugary coffee, white bread, or packaged snacks. It feels comforting for a moment. Then comes the crash. Low energy, brain fog, irritation, and more cravings. That roller coaster puts tremendous stress on your heart, blood vessels, and brain. Imagine Daniel, 69. He loved his morning sweet rolls and afternoon cookies. His doctor kept increasing his blood pressure and diabetes medicines. Nothing really worked until Daniel decided to treat food like medicine. He didn't go on a drastic diet. Instead, week by week, he swapped sugary cereal for oatmeal with nuts and berries, replaced soda with water or unsweetened tea, traded cookies for a small piece of dark chocolate or fruit. In 3 months, his afternoon crashes improved, his mood stabilized, and his doctor finally had good news about his test results. You don't need perfection. You need momentum. Try this simple rule. 1 upgrade per day. Change one thing in one meal. White bread to whole grain, chips to carrots and hummus, candy to a handful of nuts and grapes. Tomorrow, when you open the fridge, ask, is this choice feeding my next 10 years? That one question can quietly turn every meal into a step toward a stronger body. Habit number 3, letting the chair steal your muscles. Retirement can be a blessing and a trap. Without a work schedule, it's easy to sit for hours, TV on, phone in hand, barely moving. The problem? After 60, you naturally lose muscle each decade unless you fight for it. And muscle is what keeps you. Getting out of chairs without help, climbing stairs, catching yourself if you trip. Think of Mr. Lewis, 78, who loved his recliner. He told himself he was taking it easy to protect his joints. But months of long sitting made his legs so weak he needed both hands to push up from a chair. Walking to the mailbox felt like a chore. His life changed when his grandson brought him a simple plan. Stand up and walk around the house every hour. March in place during commercials. Hold onto the counter and do 10 gentle sit-to-stands each day. Within weeks, his legs felt more stable, his balance improved, and, most importantly, his confidence returned. You don't need a gym. You need movement snacks, tiny bits of motion many times a day. Walk while you're on the phone. Do ankle circles in your chair. Stand by the window and stretch your arms overhead. Every little bit tells your body, we still need these muscles. Don't let them go. Right after this section, don't just think about moving, actually stand up. Roll your shoulders. Take 20 steps. Feel the difference in your body. That's your independence saying, thank you. Habit number 4. Carrying heavy grudges in an aging body. With age comes a long memory. Family conflicts, betrayals, harsh words, unfair treatment. The pain is real, but holding on to it for years is like walking around with a stone backpack. Your heart and body pay the price. Imagine Maria, 82. She hadn't spoken to her brother in 15 years after a bitter argument over an inheritance. Every time she thought about him, her chest tightened and her mood darkened for hours. One day, at her granddaughter's urging, she wrote him a letter. She didn't excuse his behavior. She simply expressed her feelings and wished him peace. Whether he replied or not, to her surprise, he did reply. They didn't magically erase the past, but something important happened. The anger loosened its grip. Maria slept better. Her blood pressure improved. She smiled more. Forgiveness is not saying, it didn't matter. It's saying, I will not let this hurt control my remaining years. You can write a letter, even one you never sent. Talk to a counselor, trusted friend, or faith leader. Practice a simple sentence. I choose my peace over this old wound. Your body doesn't know the difference between a real threat and a memory you replay. Every replay floods you with stress chemicals. Letting go little by little frees your nervous system to calm down. Tonight, ask yourself, which old story is stealing more of my life than it deserves? Even deciding to put that story down is a powerful step toward emotional freedom. Habit number 5, slowly disappearing from people. One of the most dangerous habits after 60 isn't smoking or sugar, it's isolation. It often happens quietly. A spouse dies. Friends move away. Driving at night feels unsafe. You tell yourself, it's just easier to stay home. Days blur together. The phone stays silent. Your world shrinks to 4 walls and a TV. Think of Ahmed, 76, who moved into a smaller apartment after his wife passed. For months, the only person he spoke to was the cashier at the grocery store. He started forgetting appointments, misplacing things, and feeling that life had no real point anymore. His turning point came when he walked past a community center and saw a sign, Coffee and Conversation, Tuesday mornings. Terrified and shy, he almost kept walking, but something in him said, just try once. He went. The first week, he mostly listened. The second week, he shared a story. Within a month, he had people asking, are you coming next Tuesday? That simple routine gave structure to his week, lifted his mood, and sharpened his mind. You don't need hundreds of friends. You need regular human contact. A weekly call with a relative, a neighbor you chat with at the mailbox, a club, class, or faith group you attend, volunteering once a week. Social connection tells your brain, you still matter. It stimulates memory, language, and emotional centers that keep your mind lively. Before the week is over, choose one human connection to initiate a call, a visit, a group. Imagine how different your year could look if you did that one thing every week. Habit number 6. Treating poor sleep like a minor annoyance. Many older adults shrug and say, I just don't sleep well anymore. That's aging. Then they drag through the day foggy, unsteady, and exhausted. But chronic bad sleep is not a harmless inconvenience. It's linked to memory decline, mood problems, heart issues, and more falls. Your brain cleans itself during deep sleep if that cleaning cycle is short or broken. Toxins and stress build up. Picture Lila, 75. She fell asleep in front of the TV most nights, woke up at 2 or 3 a.m., and scrolled her phone in bed, hoping to get drowsy again. She blamed it on old age and never mentioned it to her doctor. Her daughter finally insisted she bring it up. Together with her doctor, they moved her last cup of coffee to before noon, turned off screens at least an hour before bed, created a simple wind down, warm shower, light reading, soft music, adjusted one of her medications that was keeping her wired at night. Within a few weeks, Lila wasn't sleeping perfectly, but she was sleeping better and deeper. Her mood lifted. She felt steadier on her feet. She described it as, it's like someone turned the lights back on in my brain. To protect your sleep, keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. Go to bed and wake up at roughly the same times. Avoid heavy late dinners, alcohol, and late-day caffeine. Talk to your doctor about snoring, leg movements, or pain that wakes you. Tonight, don't just fall into bed, prepare for sleep as if it were medicine. Because for your brain and heart, that's exactly what it is. Habit number 7. Living the same day on repeat. Routine can feel safe, but when every day looks exactly like the last, your brain slowly powers down. It gets less novelty, less challenge, fewer reasons to grow new connections. Imagine Mr. Chen, 81. For years, his days were identical. Same breakfast, same chair, same TV shows. He rarely left his neighborhood. He felt too old to try anything new. One afternoon, his neighbor invited him to a beginner's Tai Chi class in the park. His first thought? At my age? No way. But curiosity won. The first session was awkward. His balance wasn't great, but he liked the peaceful movements and the friendly faces. Weeks later, he noticed something interesting. He was looking forward to Tuesdays and Thursdays. He felt more stable on his feet. He had new stories to tell his grandchildren. New experiences don't have to be dramatic. They might be trying a new walking route, learning a simple phrase in a new language each week, joining a basic art, dance, or computer class, visiting a museum, garden, or part of town you've never explored. Every time you do something unfamiliar, your brain says, "Oh, we still need to learn." Keep the wiring flexible. That flexibility, called plasticity, protects against cognitive decline. Ask yourself, what is one small thing I've never tried that I could say yes to this month? That one yes could become your favorite story years from now. Habit number 8. Letting your brain run on autopilot. Your heart, joints, and digestion get a lot of attention. Your brain often doesn't until something feels wrong. But just like muscles, your brain gets stronger when you train it on purpose. Many older adults stop doing mentally demanding things. They avoid learning new technology. They don't read challenging books, and they rely heavily on others to think and plan for them. Slowly, the brain gets lazy. Now imagine designing a 10 to 15-minute daily brain wake-up ritual. Nothing extreme, just a short, focused practice that says to your brain, time to switch on. For example, minute 1 to 3. Deep breathing with eyes closed, counting slow breaths. Minute 4 to 7. A simple brain challenge. A puzzle, number game, or memory exercise. Try recalling yesterday's meals in detail, or listing capital cities. or mentally subtracting by 7 seconds. Minute 8 to 12. Learn something tiny, but new. A new word in any language. A short musical pattern on an instrument. A quick fact from a book or article you wouldn't usually read. If you enjoy audio, you might use gentle soundtracks designed for focus or relaxation while you do this. Think of them as background support while you do the real work of paying attention, remembering, and learning. Consider Rosa, 70, who felt her mind was slipping. For years, she had done everything on autopilot. She decided to give herself a 15-minute brain session each morning after breakfast. She kept it simple. Sudoku on some days, learning basic Spanish on others, and writing 3 things she wanted to remember from the previous day. After a couple of months, she noticed she was following conversations more easily, remembering names more often, and feeling proud every time she learned something new. The key is consistency, not perfection. Your brain loves patterns. When you train it daily, even briefly, you're telling it, stay sharp, we still need you at full power. Tomorrow morning, before you touch your phone or turn on the TV, give your brain 10 focused minutes. In 30 days, you might be surprised by how much clearer and more alive your mind feels. Let's quickly recap the 8 habits that quietly decide whether your later years are shrinking or expanding. 1. Cruel self-talk that convinces you to give up before you even try. 2. Sugar-heavy, processed eating that ages your body from the inside out. 3. Long hours of sitting that steal your muscles and balance. 4. Old grudges that keep your heart and nervous system on high alert. 5. Social withdrawal that starves your brain of connection and meaning. 6. Ignoring sleep problems that quietly damage memory and mood. 7. Refusing new experiences that causes your world and your brain to shrink. 8. Neglecting brain training so your mind slowly drifts into autopilot. You don't need to fix everything at once. In fact, trying to do that often leads to quitting. Instead, choose one habit that spoke to you most strongly. Maybe you'll start by replacing one harsh thought with a kinder one, taking a 5-minute walk every hour, calling one person you've been missing, setting a simple bedtime routine, doing a tiny brain challenge each morning. Small, steady steps add up. A 1-degree change in your daily direction can lead to a completely different destination 5 or 10 years from now. Your age is not a wall, it's a chapter heading. You carry decades of experience, wisdom, and resilience. That makes you incredibly powerful, because you know how much life can change when you commit to a new path. Final challenge. Before today ends, write down one habit you will let go of and one habit you will start. Put that paper somewhere, you'll see it every morning. Let it be your quiet promise to your future self, the one who is still walking, thinking clearly, laughing loudly, and blowing out candles at 90, 95, or even 100. Your next decade isn't written yet. With each choice, each movement, each thought, you're holding the pen.